My name is Gumby, and I was, kind of am. You don't really stop from being a coach, but yeah, I was a coach of Overwatch for since 2016, and yeah, today I'm going to be reviewing the gameplay trailer for Shion and as well as theory crafting how she will play like and how to best maximize her abilities, the hero, before she even releases, because right now it is June 12th, it is 3 p.m. local time, and yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. But first, let's look at the bike. It is very Hashimoto. It has Hashimoto on the side, it has the tiger motif, the logo on the side as well, and Hashimoto 1652. I have no idea what the significance of 16 and 52 is. And then for Shion's guns, we've got 14. On, it's actually reversed, right? Yeah, it's up. The number is going to be upside down. She holds it upright. The gun's upright. So I wonder what that means, what that symbolizes. So anyway, let's look at it. She's on a bike. We memed about her being on a bike, and she actually is going to use the bike as one of her abilities. God, she looks hot. And she has a, like, her face is perfect. It mimics a doll in Japanese culture. So the bike is basically a tire, a Junkrat tire. It seems like you can charge up your right click, kind of like a Zen. You have a dodge. That's a really quick charge up on that. And that is a fire reload.
I should change that.
Well, your ramen session is gone, baby.
You'll never be free of me. Go on, start running.
So you can launch the bike vertically, or diagonally upward.
Come on, bring me another. Don't test me.
That charge up is really, really short. Like, you can just burst people down with a lot of damage. Oh, okay, so it's not really part of her gun, it's part of her holster, the number is. And this is the ult. She basically Bison Psycho Crushers into people 3 times, it seems like. Well, the Overwatch team already released what she does, so. But I haven't read it completely, and also, this is definitely a Kiriko win pose that she is doing right now. I don't think the devs are lazy. I think this is a reference. There's a meaning to this as to why they decided we're gonna use the win pose of Kiriko in this one. Just mimic it, straight up mimic it. So anyway, that was it for the reaction, I guess, to the trailer. We'll watch it again in slow motion just so that we can see more details. And also mute it because it sounds weird. God, her suit is so good. And the hair that has... She doesn't have tattoos on her body, she has tattoos on her hair, essentially. She tattooed her clan's motif, an animal, onto her hair. And it looks like you can corner quite well. There's definitely some time before you regain control of Shion after leaving the bike or throwing the bike forward. And then there's a certain cadence to how she shoots. 3 times on the right, 3 times on the left. And here's the Zenyatta-esque charge up, which is fairly short. Yeah, they seem to have not a lot of HP. Well, as I say that, like, she's she's shooting them quite a bit before they fall down. So I think the guns deal significant damage. Probably not as much as Cass, but charging them up and getting into mid close range pretty makes them pretty good. They deal a substantial amount of damage. And then I want to see the bike again because you can do this. Like, it's showing that you can do this. So I wonder if you can drift with the bike. You can drift and it's a lot more maneuverable than we're being let on. Like, it's a forward momentum thing, kind of like a Reinhardt charge, but I wonder if it's as steerable or more so than a Reinhardt charge. Then, of course, you can launch it. I wonder, okay, so there's this animation that she gets on top of the bike first and then launches it. So I wonder if you have to confirm, right? You have to confirm that yes, you are going to get off the bike in this manner. I wonder if that's it, or they're just doing this for, like, show. Kiriko is dead from a single volley from that charge up shot. I wonder how many times she can do it per clip. If it's even attached to her, or not clip, per mag. If it's even attached to her magazine. And then probably the least impressive looking ultimate in the game. Yeah, I really wonder if you can shorten the distance of travel, or there's a set distance without hitting. If it's just a, if it's just open space in front of you, no obstacles in front, is it just, yeah, like, is it just going to go max distance every time, or can you stop yourself? And secondly, can you move normally and then use those charges as you move around? Or are you just stuck in place? If you're stuck in place, I mean, she didn't move, right? She got off from where she stopped and then went to this direction. Now, again, I don't know if she's just stuck in place whenever she does this. Hopefully not, because that would suck. That would make her ult kinda suck. And then it's demonstrating that you can go diagonally, upward. And likely you can go straight up and straight down. So, anyway, that is it for the trailer. I want to see her abilities. So, Kira pistols, these are your bread and butter primary weapons. Tatsuriku spree. And this is your ult. Rush forward 3 times in a row in a storm of gunfire. Okay, I wonder how big the cylinder is as well. So, and her sub-role is flanker, so that means that you are rewarded for finding all the health packs and getting to them. And flanking. So, abilities execution, fire an X-shaped volley, hold to tighten the spread. The charge up for this thing is really quick, it would seem like. At least at mid-range. I don't think anybody would use this at far range, which makes her the complete opposite of Zen, right? So this is basically Zen right-click. And then evade, dash and briefly gain overhealth. I'm guessing that the overhealth is just 25. Oops. Undo. 25. Yeah, that's close enough to a 25. So you've got some level of evasion, but since you're a flanker, that means that you don't really... You need to use this very sparingly. And then joyride, rev your engine, activate to dismount, reactivate to dismount, and launch your bike forward. So this is basically your Junkrat tire. So you have an escape, you have an evasion, and then you have a burst. And then for her minor perks, or for her perks in general, for minor perks, rapid reload, evade reloads 9 ammo, that's pretty good. Ex Machina, execution does 20% more damage to enemies below half health. Hmm. Now, thinking on this more, I think this is a lot better than this. Because the enemy has to be below half health for it to deal 20% more damage. But at that point, I think the way that Shion is going to play is that you're going to do execution first and then finish them off with the pistols, right? You're not gonna be dashing forward to do the you're not gonna spam Kira pistols, or maybe you will. You spam Kira pistols and then you dash forward, and then you do the execution, and then you joyride away. It depends on how quickly you can get back on this bike, I think, and then just run away. So I think rapid reload might be the choice. I'm not 100% sure in that just yet. It could very well be that her playstyle is kind of like Genji, in that you spam the pistols first, see if someone get low, you dash forward, you do an execution, and then you joyride away. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. In that order will you do those the steps. Now for the major perk, Fuel, Joyride instantly restores 50 health and regenerates 20 health per second while active. That is really strong, especially if you're going to be hit and run and just be annoying, like a very annoying tracer. Not really an assassin, just someone who distracts. So if that's something that you want to do, I think Refuel is going to be really good. Even for, say, an execution style of assassinating people in the back line, I think Refuel is going to be good. But Faces of Death, gain all other damage sub-roll passives, is like super strong. Because you get to scout with recon, right? People who are below half health you can see, and then you can just follow up immediately. I don't think you'll joyride there, but you'll 100% want to use some mobility or some shit to get in there. But then again, okay, so let's think about this for a second. So you have recon, so you can see people from behind walls for as long as they're below half health. Then you have specialists, which means that you can reload faster. Which means that you probably don't want rapid reload with this if you're going to get Faces of Death, because it's kind of redundant. And then Sharpshooter will make it sure that both Evade and Joyride are going to recharge faster for every headshot, was it? I think it was every headshot that you do. I think it was every headshot that you do. So that means that you get your Joyride and Evade much sooner if you choose Faces of Death, on top of being able to chase down targets with recon, or knowing where they are at the very least, and then having a faster reload thanks to Specialist. So, with that in mind, how do we think Shion will play? So I think the game plan for Shion is going to be this. Wait, let me just change the color to blue so that we can see. So step 1 is going to be, I think you spam. Step 1 is poke. You poke, you spam with the Kira pistols, right? And then you try to go for an execution of a target. This will probably mean, I don't know if how I like Joyride as an initiation thing. I think this essentially is an escape. I think you use Evade, right? You use Evade. You dive. And then the gameplay loop is, well, you're in there, you're going to finish someone off, you're going to use execution. So kill. And then if that fails, what do? You bail. You go to a health pack. And I think that's how she's going to be. She's going to be like a Genji, assuming that the bike cannot really jump, she's going to be a Genji with hella horizontal movement, but no vertical movement. Like, almost no vertical movement. And then you just dive with your team. You don't really get that many dash resets, right? Because there's no mechanic to do so. Not until you get Faces of Death, right? Not until you get that one that you get that pseudo reset where you just snowball. So you don't really snowball as hard as Genji, but your playstyle is going to be kind of like Genji. Or to see it another way, your playstyle is going to be somewhat like Venture, where Venture has an invincible joyride and an evade that instead of giving you overhealth, it gives you burst damage, like even more burst damage. And no execution, because Venture doesn't need one. They already have a very powerful primary. So yeah, I think Shion is really good with dive and rush. So in terms of composition, right? It's going to be rush because I can definitely see this being a pseudo tracer type of deal. I definitely see Shion being good in dive, although maybe not all forms of dive. Now that I think about it, maybe not all forms of dive, because if if you're diving and you want to control the high ground too, so I think you're 100% just rushing or brawling. I think the play for Shion then is to brawl and rush. Now, will she be useful in poke? Because one of her abilities is to poke and then just finish people off. Um, I think if it's going to be... Well, she can go for a very, very long flank, especially because of Joyride, right? So maybe she might have some level of potential in poke comps. So Sigma Brawl is good because you can poke and you can brawl from time to time. She most certainly cannot brawl, at least until you get Faces of Death, I think. And then you just get resets for Evade and Joyride all the time. I think it's conditional for poke. I think it's very conditional if you're going for poke. I think most of her value is going to be in Russian Brawl. I don't know how useful she's going to be in Dive because you don't have any verticality. Not unless you replace. I don't think you can replace Tracer with her, but you have another option, just in case the Tracer is banned. You can play Shion and get, or if you're a Genji main, I guess you can sorta play like a Genji without any verticality. But better poke, better consistent poke, I would say. I don't think the Kira pistols are going to have that much damage that far. Definitely a mid-range, short-range weapon. And yeah, I think that's it, right? So your gameplay loop, or the predicted gameplay loop, is going to be poke, then you dive, then you try to go for a kill, and then if you fail to get that kill, or you do not get a kill, you bail. So 100% deserve to be a flanker. If you're familiar with how to play Vendetta, Vendetta is the most recent example of if you fail, bail. Another one is Venture. And then Sombra. Sombra is another one. To some degree, Soldier 76 kind of plays like this, except you're purely in mid-range, you never really dive. You just keep poking until they die. And then whenever they look at you, you kind of run away. Which Yeah, that's basically it. I guess on run too, but I would say on run might have a better time going for 1v1s than Shion. I don't know how much her health pool is. That's also another thing that we don't know. Because if she has 250 or 225, and then you use evade, that's quite a bit of health, right? She is a little bit tanky. I do wonder how much over health this is. Probably just 25, right? 25. So 25 is still good though. But yeah, if you're familiar with how to play Vendetta, Venture, Sombra, and even Onrun, I would say that you know how to play Shion. You know how to adapt. You just need to set up your flanks using Joyride. So I guess this is number one. Or maybe, well, yeah, you use your Joyride first, and then you spam with the pistols, and then you use Evade to close the distance, which is funny because it's called Evade. And then you use your Execution, and then you go for a Joyride again out of there. And then rinse repeat. Just in case you don't get the kill, you use the Joyride immediately and get on out of there. Bottom line is, I don't think your in time is going to be as important. Can you live in the back line just as much as a Venture or a Sombra? Probably. Again, it depends on how long Joyride takes to get off of cooldown, right? This is the biggest. I think this is the biggest ability for her, Joyride. I think Joyride is going to be the make or break. If she has this, you cannot kill her type of ability. Like you have to, or you cannot push in until you force her out, or you force out the Joyride. And then, like only then, can you push the enemy team and not worry about Shion being a threat. So anyway, I think that is it for now. I'm not really going to discuss the ultimate because the ultimate looks like it's whatever. We'll have to see. I don't know how to put that much value in the ultimate at all because it looks like you're vulnerable every single goddamn time that you dash. And God forbid if it's something that you have to stand still for and then just aim, your only ability to move is on the dash itself, then it's even worse. Right? But again, we don't really know for sure just yet because she hasn't come out yet and we haven't played her. All we are doing right now is just theory crafting, throwing eggs at a wall, seeing if anything makes sense, and hopefully that's how it will be. Or predicting that that's how it's going to be when Shion finally drops. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you like this, and yeah, see ya.